Hey there, Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here. Welcome to day 78 of our Get Your Goals annual challenge. Today we're talking about ants. So my question for you today is, have you got ants? I was introduced to this topic maybe just a year or so ago from my son, my very wise son. And he had gotten a book from his grandma about ANTS, ANTS, which is an acronym which stands for automatic negative thoughts, right? And we all have them. And we all have beliefs, we all have thoughts, we all have feelings, but we don't realize how many of them are actually automatic. And if they're automatic and positive, that creates what we want in our life. If they're automatic and negative, it holds us back from creating what we want in our life. I'm going to share the 10 most common, according to the internet yesterday, negative thoughts. And then a few years ago, I don't remember who created it, but someone created, what do you do about these negative thoughts? What are the 10 positive thoughts that we want to replace these negative thoughts with? And so I'm going to share that list as well. Then I'll talk about how do you replace those ants? How do you get rid of this automatic negative thinking that happens in all of us, because it does happen in all of us. And it's programmed usually from when we're young children. And we want to become aware of these things, just like we talked about removing negative self-talk, removing negative beliefs. We do that by becoming aware of them. And once we're aware of them, we can decide, well, is this true for me now? Is this true? And do I want this to be true for me in the future? And if we don't, then it's something we want to change. And I'll share 5 ways that you can go about changing them. First off, let's think about, and I'm going to share automatic negative thoughts, or ANTS. And I'm reading a really good book that I got from my son about this, but I didn't bring it with me in my travels, so I don't have it to refer to. I want to say it's by Dr. Charles or Dr. Charles somebody, but reading is not my strong suit these days, so it takes me a while to get through things. So I did not bring that book with me. But ants fall into categories like black and white thinking. Either something has to be this or that. And I know I've talked about that in the past. We think that things have to be one way or they're the other. And there's only 2 possible options or alternatives or choices to anything. You know, it's I do this or it's the end of my life. Things like that are black and white thinking. Overgeneralization, when we use things and words like always, never, I am just like this, or I always think this way, I never am able to succeed, whatever. Whenever we're using absolute terms, we want to stop and question ourselves and say, is that true, or am I overgeneralizing? We make these comments about ourselves, which are the most detrimental, as well as about other people. We categorize and we make mass judgments about things that probably aren't true. Jumping to conclusions is another form of automatic negative thinking and automatic negative thoughts. We just jump to conclusions. Somebody says something, we interpret it, and we assume that our conclusion is correct. A lot of times it's not anywhere near what the person intended by what they said or did. And then personalization. We make everything about us when it's probably got nothing to do with us. If it's raining outside, newsflash, it's got nothing to do with you. There's certain things that happen that have nothing to do with you. And if you make them about you, you're going to feel miserable. Think of, I know people that watch the news and pay attention to the news and all the terrible things that are going on in the world. And then it wrecks their day. They have a terrible day and they feel awful all day long because they watch this negative thing about something on the other side of the world. Maybe it was a weather related, like a tsunami or something, that they have no part in and no control over. There's a lot of things in politics right now that people are using to make people feel guilty and bad about things that they've had nothing to do with. That would be an example of overgeneralization, jumping to conclusions, personalization by other people, persecution. Anyway, so ANTS, or automatic negative thinking, can affect our mental well-being in a lot of different ways. It can lead to anxiety. It can increase and cause depression. It can definitely cause low self-esteem, as well as automatic negative thinking can trigger a host of all kinds of mental issues that, frankly, we don't need to deal with. There's plenty of stress and plenty of craziness going on in our lives. We don't need to add to that by dramatizing it with our negative thinking. So what are the 10 most common ANTS, automatic negative thoughts, right now? And I'll read through the list and then I'll comment whether I have had all of these or not. I was thinking about it when I wrote it down yesterday. I'm not sure if I've had all of them, but I've definitely experienced the vast majority of them at some time in my 62 years. Oh, 63. I just turned 63 a couple weeks ago. 63 years here on the planet. So what are they? I feel like everyone is at war with me. And then any twist of that, I feel like everybody's against me, everybody's out to get me, things like that. Number 2, why can't I ever succeed? 3, no one understands me. How many times have we all said that? 4, I'm so disappointed in myself. 5, I've let people down. 6, I don't think I can go on. 7, I wish I were a better person. 8, my life's not going the way it should. Oh boy, have I thought that one in the past. 9, nothing feels good anymore. And 10 is, I can't stand this anymore. Now, I guess I've probably felt or experienced those, and probably most of us have, at some point in our life. It's when a thought like that becomes a belief or becomes automatic negative thinking, and it's how we respond and react to things that happen every day in our life on a subconscious level that it becomes a problem. So I'm not sure who created this list, but I'm sure some very smart psychologists and psychiatrists, etc. They said, hey, these are the 10 thoughts we need to be thinking instead of these ANTS, these 10 automatic negative thoughts. We need to create and replace them with these 10 positive. So I don't know if you'd call them apps, automatic positive apts, like aptitude. I don't know. And we'll think of something because it's kind of a great way to flip the switch and substitute positive for the negative. So what are these? These are, and again, not my list, but I will make a couple of comments. For example, on the negative things I've caught myself saying in the past were, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do about this. Or I can't handle this. And the lowest point of my life, I discovered after the fact that I was actually using several of these negative, automatic negative thoughts. Every time something would happen in my day, I would flip into one of these thoughts. I can't handle this. I can't take one more thing. My little red wagon is overflowing already. What am I going to do about this? And then I have a sudden cardiac arrest. So automatic negative thoughts are something we definitely want to get rid of. So here's some positive thoughts we can replace them with. I'm proud of myself. No matter what happens, I'll make it through. I'll figure it out is mine. I feel fine. I would never say I feel fine. I do actually say I feel awesome. When I am needing to change my attitude or pump up or something, and I used to do it every Monday morning, I would wake up and I would go outside no matter how cold it was, and I would spin around and yell, I feel awesome. Why? Because it made me feel good, even if it wasn't a great start to the day. I can accomplish anything. I'm warm and comfortable because we humans like to be comfortable. I feel good. Again, I personally think fine and good are kind of weak, but it's up to you to decide what works for you. I can achieve anything I set myself to. I say I can achieve anything I set my mind to, but up to you. This is super. And again, I say, hey, this is awesome in whatever we're doing. I feel delighted. I'm luckier than most people. And again, I wrote that I feel awesome. The universe is rigged in my favor, and I can figure this out. And I actually truly believe no matter what happens, I'm going to figure it out, right? No matter how many problems and challenges come my way, I'm not going to quit. I'm going to keep going, and I might struggle to figure it out, but I'm definitely going to find a way to figure it out. So what's our action item today with all of this? Number 1, go about your day and notice. The first step of changing anything or even becoming aware of it is to become aware of it by noticing, are you having any negative thoughts that pop up automatically without you consciously saying, this happened, here's my response to it. It's like something happens and it triggers an automatic negative response in you. And then what can we do about this? I guess we should say, what can we do about these thoughts before we switch to our action item? Our action item is to notice these and then do something about it. Well, what are some of the things that you can do about it? We can, today we're going to pay attention to our automatic negative thoughts, and then we're going to take one of these actions to deal with them. We can, of course, we've talked about this before, practice mindfulness. Become aware of it, and then choose consciously, is this how I want to respond to this? Do I want to kick off this automatic negative thinking and thoughts and go down this train, or do I want to choose another thought? challenge the thought. A lot of times we think of something automatically and we're like, okay, well, that was a little harsh, Sharon, or that was a little extreme, or that, do I really want to go there with this? No. Sometimes I do that. I did it yesterday. I opened my mouth and said something that I didn't need to say. Practice self-compassion, meaning take care of yourself. Practice gratitude. And if you have to, go get some help with this, right? Go find a professional that can help you get over some of these automatic negative thoughts, because like I said, they can actually kill you if you're not paying attention. So today, pay attention. Notice if you have any. I guarantee I still have automatic negative thoughts that I have not cleared and gotten rid of. And so I'm going to do the same thing today. I'm going to pay attention to what pops into my head immediately as I'm going about my day that isn't serving me and moving me in the direction I want my life to go. Any questions, hit me up. Otherwise, I'll be with you tomorrow. Have a fantastic day. Have fun with this. It's really a powerful tool once you learn about it.